Apple cider vinegar brings an added dimension of flavor to any meal. Today, it's the key to the sweet, sour, and spicy sauce in my better than takeout General Tso Chicken. I'm Chef Heidi Fink, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. Today we're diving into one of my favorite takeout dishes, General Tso's Chicken, or General Tso's Tofu. This is not just any dish, it's a fantastic fusion of sweet, spicy, and savory. Let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the tofu first. We're gonna do my famous trick where you roast the tofu in the oven ahead of time with some oil and salt. That makes the tofu easy to work with in a stir fry. It doesn't crumble or break apart or stick to the pan. So I'm using toasted sesame oil for this because it gives it a really nice flavor. And then probably about half a teaspoon of salt. So this is a pound of medium firm tofu. And I'm gonna use the edges of the parchment paper here to just gently toss this tofu around so that it doesn't crumble apart or break or anything. Just gonna get it all coated with that oil. Then we're gonna spread it out and we're gonna throw it into a very hot oven. I like to use 400 degrees on a convection setting so you get really nice hot air. You could also do this in air fryer to get that kind of crispiness. All right, so for about 15 minutes. So for the chicken version, let's talk about how we're gonna prep the chicken. So I have here a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, which I've cut into bite-sized pieces. We're gonna add about a tablespoon or so of vegetable oil and a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm gonna get some gloves on my hands and I'm gonna mix that up really well. And it has to marinate for half an hour to an hour. So of course I have some already done, but let's show you how to do this. Let's get that all mixed up. You wanna make sure this is evenly coated with salt and oil. So this just helps tenderize and season the chicken ahead of cooking it. You don't wanna do this too far ahead of time though, because the salt can draw out quite a bit of liquid from the chicken. Okay, we'll pop that in the fridge and we'll get the one I've already done. All right, I did this about half an hour ago. Then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this marinated chicken and I'm gonna toss it with a beaten egg. I don't know if I need more gloves. I'll just put this in the sink. All right, so we're gonna toss this up with a beaten egg until it's nicely coated. So what we're doing here with the chicken is we're kind of doing a bit of a breading. So not a traditional breading. We've got the marinated chicken, we've got the egg, and then we're gonna toss it with some cornstarch. So what I wanna do is make sure that the chicken is completely coated with the egg, and then I'm actually gonna drain off any excess egg, and then I'm gonna toss, the egg-coated chicken with some cornstarch. So let's just drain off this excess egg. You don't need to wait, you can do it right away. Okay, I'm just gonna bring that back over here. We still want some egg coating that chicken, but you don't want it to be too wet. So this is the secret to like crispy coated, Chinese takeout ingredients. This is often how it's done for things like sweet and sour pork or different types of chicken or ginger beef. So we're gonna toss this with the cornstarch. Now you wanna make sure that every piece of chicken has a chance to get some cornstarch on it. So this calls for about half a cup of cornstarch, but definitely be prepared, like I need to be, to add a little bit more. So you can use other types of starch as well, like tapioca starch, arrowroot starch, anything that gives an especially light and crispy coating. So this is not a place where you'd want to be using flour, because flour makes it too pasty. And this is sometimes where I also would use gloves to just make sure. There we go. And you're trying to break it up into little pieces because you want them to be in individual pieces when you fry them. So now I have a pan over here. Ooh. Cornstarch is flying everywhere. I have a pan over here. I've got a cast iron pan. You can use whatever type of pan you like, and I'm gonna heat up some oil. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do this with a couple of batches and just sort of pan fry it, or you can deep fry it. It depends. If you have a deep fryer at home, this would be a really, really great way to use it. It would make this really nice crispy chicken. So you wanna make sure that the oil is nice and hot, but not smoking hot before you add the chicken. I'm also gonna get a tray with paper towel on it or brown paper just to put the chicken on after it's cooked. Okay, this oil should be getting hot now. If you're wondering what this pot is, it's just some rice I put on to cook. I always like to start the rice first before I do anything else because it's better if it sits after it's cooked. So let's just do a little tester, see if this oil is ready. Drop a little piece of chicken in there. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, just gonna turn it down so it isn't too hot. So I'll probably do this in batches. Oopsies. Things are flying everywhere. Oh, sorry. So you don't want to overcrowd this pan because then the chicken, you know, instead of getting crispy, will get kind of like soggy. So I'm kind of semi-deep frying this just to expedite the process. Often when I do this at home, I do just pan fry it because I do not have a deep fryer at home. Now the other thing you can do, and I'll talk about this a bit more in the second half of the show when we come back, when I make the sauce, is you can also buy some, you know, pre-breaded chicken that you can get in the freezer, and then you can just make the sauce, because it's the sauce that does make this dish. Get that nice and crispy. And the chicken should be cooked all the way through by the time you're done this stage. We are gonna cook it again in a second step in the sauce, but it only gets cooked in the sauce for a couple minutes, basically to reheat. So you wanna make sure that at this stage the chicken gets cooked through. So I will be testing some of the bigger pieces with a thermometer. So it's always a nice balance between making sure you get nice crispy breading on here, but not burning it. There, now it's a lot easier to spin around. So sometimes I've seen recipes where you double fry this, but I found this isn't necessary. You can just do a single fry. But if you really want to get into it, you can do it like this, toss it with cornstarch again, and fry it again. So we're looking for a minimum, well, 165 is cooked, but even if it's 160, that'll be great because it's gonna cook again. Oh, these are all well over 180. Okay, that was great. So we're gonna take that out and put it on our tray with the paper towel to absorb excess grease, and I can feel how crispy these are. This is gonna be so good once we add it to our sauce. So I just have to do the second batch of chicken, and then we are good to go. And my tofu is still baking. So the thing I like about this dish is you can do a big batch of the sauce, and then you could do half tofu, half veggie. So I don't need to add any more oil because I already have quite a bit of oil in here. All right. We've got this beautiful chicken that we're just putting on our tray here. All right, there we go. It's smelling really good in here. I'm not sure if it's from the marinade of the chicken or the browning starch. But anyways, we've got these beautiful little homemade crispy chicken bits, and now I'm gonna check on my tofu. Oh yeah, there we go. So look at how golden brown and beautiful that is, and I can smell that delicious sesame oil. So we've got both of these proteins ready. We still have to make the sauce. We're gonna make that when we're back in the kitchen, but next we're on the road.
On the Road is brought to you by Whisk Victoria, the small but mighty kitchen gadget store for every home chef.
I'm here at Promise Valley Farm with the Guernsey cattle with Mark, who's going to tell us all about their amazing farm creamery. Oh, don't eat my hair though. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
So tell me a bit about what makes your farm special.
So there's a few different pillars to what we do here, and we can start with the obvious, is the Guernsey breed. The reason we chose Guernseys was specifically for their milk quality, but there are secondary reasons also, being their temperament, which you're
I'm
experiencing right now. And also Guernseys primarily genetically are A2A2 in their beta casein. The A2 milk can be easier to digest, and many people see health benefits from consuming only A2 dairy products. And we believe that the organic pasture translates to high quality, healthy milk for us to consume also.
I believe it 100%. You always hear about grass-fed cattle, grass-fed milk, right? And we're witnessing it right here.
The grass grows in the soil, so the soil is kind of the building block of life, and if we have healthy soil, then we grow healthy grass, and healthy grass goes through healthy cows, giving us healthy milk. And speaking of milk, let's go check out the farm store where we have milk and yogurt for sale and say hi to Caroline.
Okay, I am so excited. I cannot wait to try this.
Hi Heidi, welcome to our farm store.
Thanks, Carolyn, so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm extra excited about this yogurt, actually. I've tried your plain yogurt in the store because the country grocer carries it.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that creamy layer on the top.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's our non-homogenized yogurt.
Yeah, it's actually hard to find non-homogenized dairy
Yes,
products. Yeah.
it is.
There's honey, lemon, vanilla, and plain. Look at that. Okay, Kate, look at this. This is insane. This creamy fat layer on the top. Okay. Just the scoop itself was like an amazing experience. That tastes amazing. That tastes like,
It's velvety almost.
oh yeah, velvety. That is a great description. It has like a softer texture
Yes.
compared to a lot of the commercial yogurts.
Yes, the milk is just remained whole and nothing has been added, nothing taken away. So it is good creamy yogurt.
It is so good. So tell me more about your milk. What makes it special?
It is certified organic, the first and only on the island. It is from heritage breed cows called a Guernsey that carry that A2 beta casein.
Right.
So this milk is very easy to digest, and because it's non-homogenized, it's never set at a certain butter fat. So when you drink milk from Promise Valley, you are drinking with the rhythm of the cow and the land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so cows naturally go up in butter fat in the fall and winter, so nice and creamy, and then it goes down a little bit when they hit the grass. So
Okay.
it's a very natural product.
And so the milk you can only get here on the farm at the
Yes, it's
dispensary, right?
only available through our dispenser.
Right.
So what's kind of unusual about our dairy farm is we are first generation. This is by far our favorite way of farming is connecting with the consumer and connecting with the customer through our farm store, and it's been wonderful.
Thanks so much for having us here. This is such a great tour. Thanks for introducing us to the cows.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Showing us around, letting me eat yogurt. You guys should come down to this farm. It's a great experience. Dispense your own milk, buy some yogurt. Come check out Promise Valley Farm. Welcome back. We're making General Tso Chicken or General Tso tofu. We've already prepped the chicken and I've also prepped the tofu, and in fact with the tofu I've gone as far as making it up into the sauce. Look at how beautiful and glossy that is and delicious. So now I'm going to show you how to turn the chicken into that. So what we need here are some dried chilies. So traditionally these are made with whole dried chilies that you just remove the seeds from, and you either leave them whole or break them in half. They give a lot of flavor without a ton of heat that way. But if you can't find them or don't want to deal with them, you can definitely use chili flakes. Just be mindful of how much you use depending on how spicy you want it. So you just take the top off of this and you just break it up and you just dump the seeds out like so. And I usually cut them in half. Oops, I've got more. I usually cut them in half, especially because these ones are kind of big. So I've got 8 whole dried chilies here. You could do much more if you want, or you can do fewer. I also have 4 cloves of garlic minced up and 2 tablespoons of minced ginger. It's important to mince this by hand and do not use a garlic press or a grater. You don't want them to be so small that they burn on contact. Now I'm gonna mix the sauce ingredients together here. So I've got here 3 tablespoons of cider vinegar. I've got 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I have 2 tablespoons of ketchup. This is a classic Chinese Canadian or Chinese American ingredient used in a lot of sauces. Then I have 2 teaspoons of dark soy. This is a special type of soy sauce that is darker, richer, more syrupy, gives that darker color, not quite as salty as traditional soy sauce. It's used in sauces only. You do have to go to a specialty market for that. If you don't have it, you can just swap in a couple extra teaspoons of regular soy sauce. Then I need 4 tablespoons of white sugar. I need 4 tablespoons of water, or you could use chicken broth. And finally, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We're gonna whisk that all together. You wanna whisk it until it's completely blended. The cornstarch is lump-free, and so is the ketchup. And then we're gonna get cooking. So we're gonna start by preheating our pan here. We wanna get it nice and hot. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm steaming some vegetables. This doesn't have vegetables in it, so we're just gonna steam a little vegetables on the side. You could also do just a vegetable stir fry. I've got some carrots, some snow peas, and some broccoli, just to give some color and, you know, nutrition to the plate. There we go. So that'll only take a few minutes to steam and get nicely tender crisp, and it was about the same amount of time as this is gonna take. So we've got our pan is getting nice and hot. So I want you to notice that I'm using a large skillet and not a wok. So if you do have a wok, you can definitely use it. If you have electric stoves, it's often better to use a big 12-inch skillet so you have a really big hot surface area, compared to woks, which don't work well on an electric stove. They work well on gas stoves. There we go. So we're heating that up, and now we're gonna add the chilies. And you wanna just sizzle these chilies and kind of flavor the oil for a few seconds, like 10 seconds, just until they start going darker. And then you're gonna add your garlic and ginger. Oh, that's a satisfying sizzle. Okay, we're gonna stir fry that. I'm just gonna add a little bit more oil so we don't burn our garlic. Just until that garlic and ginger is really fragrant. So it's already, everything's really fragrant right now. So you wanna make sure that this is fragrant and cooked a bit. You don't want it to burn. I'm gonna turn the heat down just slightly, because when I'm adding my sauce mixture, it has cornstarch in it, and you know that as soon as cornstarch boils, it thickens, so you wanna make sure that it's not ravagingly hot, or you might get some like gelatinous bits, okay? So now you're gonna, oh, that smells so good. Okay, we're gonna stir this vigorously and continuously until the sauce thickens and gets glossy. And if you're worried, you can use a whisk, like, because sometimes cornstarch can get away from you. So cornstarch only thickens when it comes to a full boil. So that's definitely something that you want to have happen. Oh, splashing. This is why I wear an apron all the time. So you can see that already. Look at that. It's starting to thicken up. This is such a quick and easy sauce to make. So like I said before, if you wanted to get prepared chicken in any way and then just make up this sauce, the sauce is made easily from supermarket ingredients and tastes so delicious and smells so delicious. So once you have this nice glossy thickened sauce, you're going to just dump your crispy chicken in there, and you're gonna toss it to combine with the sauce. There we go. I'm gonna turn this down so it doesn't get too thick. All right, look at that. Let's see if I can do my famous chef flip. Not bad. Okay, stir that up, stir that up. And you wanna just make sure that the chicken gets coated evenly with this beautiful sauce, and that it gets, you know, that the chicken gets heated through. Just look at that. Doesn't it look like you've just gone for delicious takeout? This is gonna be even better, takeout at home. We're just gonna let that heat up for another minute or so. Let's check on our steamed vegetables. Oh, that's looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna just turn that off. Just it'll continue steaming a little bit in the residual heat, and we're gonna plate this. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of green onions in the tofu one, and then also some in here. Just gives it a bit of color and final flavor. Look at how pretty. Oh, I can smell the green onions. They just, as soon as you put them in, they just have a beautiful, beautiful smell. All right, let's get this plated. Okay, so we're gonna put the rice on the plate. So for this dish, I'm actually gonna mold the rice. That's just one of my favorite tips, especially with Chinese food or Chinese style takeout. So we're just gonna put a little packet in there. Make like a little rice sandcastle. We'll do another one. There we go. Then we will put on the veggies, because I don't want those to overcook. So everybody's gonna get a little bit of each type of vegetable for the color and the flavor. There we go. We'll move that over. All right. Time for chicken. So we'll serve up one chicken and one tofu. So everybody has a bit of each. Oh, man, look at that. Looks so good. Okay. And we'll put the tofu one over here. So glossy and beautiful. All right, there we go. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a bit more green onions just for a pop of color. All right, there you have it. General Tso Chicken and General Tso Tofu. Better than takeout.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
There's so much flavor in this dish with sweetness, saltiness, spiciness. So I'm really interested to find out what pairing will go with this. And Cheryl Tilley from Liquor Plus is here to help us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm thrilled. So what have you got
great
for
to
us?
be here. So what I brought today was wild goose.
Okay.
Autumn gold.
Ooh.
Yes, a secret blend of deliciousness.
Okay, okay.
And as a chef, I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yeah. Oh, I share all my secrets on TV.
You share them all? You don't keep anything to yourself?
Oh, maybe, yeah, you're right. Probably a few.
Yeah. So I was really excited to hear about your dish today because of the sweetness, the savoriness, the spiciness that you've got going on. And I think this will pair really, really well with it. So let's give this one a go. Yeah, so this is, again, what I really encourage you to do is take a little sniff.
Okay, take a sniff.
Yep.
I'm game. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now give it a little swirl and see how much that opens up.
All right,
so
let's
it's
see.
a super aromatic,
actually,
super aromatic wine. I kind of refer to it as orchard in a glass.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so cheers to you. We'll have a little sip and then we'll have a taste.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Right,
well,
lots of flavor to that.
yeah,
so.
okay, well, let's taste the food and then we'll
Okay.
imagine how this is gonna
All right.
pair. So I've given you the chicken, I've got the tofu.
Okay.
So we've got chopsticks or a fork.
Oh, I gotta fork it.
You're gonna fork
I
it.
gotta fork it for sure. So yeah.
I just love this dish so much.
Come on.
Better than takeout.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Like it? Okay, I'm gonna try a piece with the wine now.
Put that with the wine. Oh my gosh, Heidi, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So good. So,
yeah, that works.
do you got? I'm guessing there's some nice ginger.
There's ginger in there, yeah, some chilies, some sugar, some vinegar, like the whole bunch of things going on.
Yeah. So think sweet and spicy. So when I taste this wine with this dish, I'm getting kind of a candied ginger
absolutely.
going on.
Yeah,
So try that again. Try that again.
I definitely. I was definitely tasting like differences in the wine compared to tasting on its own with this dish. It really brought different notes out. Candied ginger was a good way of describing it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, that dish is amazing. Do you mind if I dig in and have another bite?
Keep going. Show us your take on this recipe. I'd love to see your version. Take a photo and tag me on social media. I'm Chef Heidi Fink. The more you learn, the better it tastes.
I'm gonna keep eating. Let me dig in and try a little bit of rice with that as well.
Try some rice. There's also these steamed veggies if you want to get all healthy.
You know, you keep saying better than takeout, and I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
It is better than takeout. Yum, yum.
Oh yeah. And you really do share all your ingredients.
Oh, I'm not holding anything back, because then how can people replicate it? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you just end up being kind of a weird gatekeeper if you hold it.
100%. All right. Well, we won't gatekeep what's in your stuff, but we might gatekeep a little what's in the wine.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
All right.